Vendor communication is the name of the game. And we know that in order to be a great real estate agent, you've got to get a set of basics clearly lined up around what you're going to do to make sure that you're going to have a great vendor experience. And this is about the vendor experience curve. The first thing that you've got to do is you've got to think the moment that you walk out with that signed agency agreement, from that moment onwards, they're wondering what actually happens next. One of the simple things to do is go and set up a WhatsApp group, not only with you, but also to your head of marketing, and naturally anyone in operations or other salespeople that are going to be working inside of that campaign. Get them to pile in a couple of quick messages about how excited they are to work on the campaign. And then make sure that you keep everyone in check about what's going to happen from here. That welcome to the market letter that clearly explains what the next steps are going to be, from the photo shoot to the video shoot to getting the contract organized, and to then being able to organize those buyers. And don't for a minute allow your vendor not to know what's going on. Your job is to really ensure to them that this is the next step of what's actually going to be happening. Once you've got past all the marketing and the compliance bits, make sure that you get them to sign off at every single step, that they're really happy with where things are at. And then it's about really going to market. What the best agents actually do now is they say, okay, great, what are the lookalike campaigns where we know that a similar property has sold in the course of the last 12 months where a buyer would have walked through? So anyone who's going to come to this new listing in Yellow Street, let's go and ring everyone who actually went through Red Street and Blue Street and see if they'd like to come have a quick look at it. That ability to jump on the phones. Hi Hannah, it's Josh. Thought I'd give you a quick call. I know that you came through Red Street over the course of the last couple of months. I was just wondering, did you still have an appetite to buy, and would you like to come and look at our new listing in White Street? If you can all of a sudden get a couple of buyers down, even in that off-market phase, or even in a private appointment before the first open for inspection, that's going to drive a lot in terms of momentum and price feedback about what's actually happening in market. The second thing is get seriously creative. I want you to get on the phone and to ring every single one of the market appraisals and every single one of the past clients in the price range before. Let's say, for example, that you've listed a 4-bedroom home. Can you go and ring all of the previous 3-bedroom market appraisals or 3-bedroom past clients and see whether or not they'd like to upgrade to the 4-bedder? That ability to be able to bring a local who's also got a trade-in is awesome, because if they like the property, not only will they want to buy it on, but now all of a sudden they have to go and sell theirs. And that's really what the skill set is to make sure that in those very early moments that you're building a ton of buy demand before the rest of the marketing takes hold. Every property gets launched to market. Minimum first Saturday open for inspection. Set that expectation on what's going to happen at that open home. You're going to do that through a really good quality set to sell meeting about what they should be expecting around inquiries or inspections and second appointments and contract requests, changes to terms, and maybe even offers that might be received on their home. You then want to make sure that literally as soon as that open home has been finished, that you've got a nice voice note going to them and a phone call later that day to really give them a summation of where we're at and what we need to do next to ensure they actually get this sold. And if you've got a high pacing business, you might make the decision to meet with your vendors every week on like a Tuesday or Wednesday for like 15 minutes, ideally face-to-face at the office or over Zoom if you really have to talk them through how their campaign is tracking and what they need to do next. If you feel that the campaign is off track at any point in time, then what we're going to do is we're going to pull out our campaign reset menu, where we're going to talk about marketing, the actual change in sale method, and a change in price. And we're going to give them lots of options in each of those little headings on what they can do in order to be able to make sure their campaign gets back on track. The moment that you feel it's off track is the moment to get it back on track. And that's that whole idea. If you see something, you got to say something. And then it's about making sure that if you do put corrective action in place, that you make sure you get an extra buy through in the following 24 hours, so the link that change in marketing or that change in sale price actually leads to more buyers come and have a look at the home. That skill set is then to think that every single business day you're going to pick up the phone and you're going to give a quick little note and have a great little chat with one of your vendors about what you need to do in order to be able to make sure their campaign is on track, keeping them fully updated and abreast of what's going on in market. What's been listed, what's been sold, what's had a price reduction, what's happening at the auctions, anything that might be happening at a more geopolitical level, but also at a financial level that could be impacting on their final sale price. That's just a set of standards. It's a set of rules. And if you follow them religiously, you're always going to have your vendors in alignment and you're going to make some great sales in the marketplace.